Yes, sir.
Hey,
Hey,
Javi,
what's
man,
cracking? What, what's cracking?
what's going on
Hey,
with
with
your
the
phone
what?
service over there, man? It's tripping.
Oh man, you know what? Ah man, they've been doing that, dog. Like we. It's funny 'cause like every time it happens, we all look out our window and we're trying to see what officer's working in the tower, and we don't know exactly who's doing it, but we know one of them's doing it, right? And fucking, they got people that cuss him out and fucking. Sometimes he's not sitting there, so I don't think it's him, you know, because I felt I was one of them dudes. I kept running to the window every time he fucking hung me up, and I would flip him off like you fucking asshole. But nah, it's probably like in the main office down there, like in the program office. But somebody fucking just has nothing better to do, dog, and they just when you're having a conversation, they just fucking they just hang you up. It says bye on the screen. They'll say bye, and they'll just turn off. And yeah, it was doing that right now. I kept trying to dial, and as soon as you're about to pick up, it would hang up, or the voice would be gone. Can you hear me?
Yeah. I'm just
Yeah.
I just got home right now. I was just stuffing my face right now.
Oh, is that right? What's cracking though? Like, what's up with the what's up with the collect call? With the collect call, James?
Hey, so
It's,
just so you know,
uh,
we're live already. We're live and direct, and
oh, okay.
you're tuning into you have a collect call from Javier tonight, and I'm your host. Collect call James. Okay, no.
Collect call Jaimito, Chile, aka Chile Limon, Chilito Limoncito. What's up, though, man? Fuck, we went a while, huh? Like what? Like a week and a half, 2 weeks?
No, I had to give you
Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada.
give you a little resting
¿Cómo así?
period, so you could get right,
Yeah.
re energize, do some burpees, and
I believe that. Yeah, I don't need a break for that. Yeah, I gotta keep doing that. I gotta keep pushing. Yeah, man, fucking. Oh, fuck. I was falling asleep earlier, and fucking, I got up, I made a shot of coffee, and then the phone started acting up. I go, man, that better work.
I thought you gave. I was like, oh no, don't tell me he fell asleep again, man. I was like, man, I put it up already. I'm ready to go. Nothing, pure crickets.
I fell out or some shit, or something happened. Like, no, I didn't fall out. The phone wasn't working. I told Gary, I go, yeah, I fell out, but I'm not telling him the phone wasn't working. No, I did. Low key, I did fall out, man. I was sitting here, and I was watching a movie, and fucking, I woke up, and I said, oh, fuck. It was like 2 hours later, and I text you, and I go, hey, you were already asleep, because it was already past 12. And in the morning, you told me, hey, I had already knocked out. But yeah, my bad. Hey, sometimes it catches up to me, though.
I know how that goes, because I'm definitely, I be doing stuff like that. I be pushing
Yeah.
myself to the limit, and let's say I'm tired, and then I be
It
falling
catches
asleep on the
up.
couch and stuff. So,
Yeah. Hey,
so
but look, I could catch us up. Like I think I remember last time when I was talking or where I was at. I think I had just gotten out the shoe and they had given me a job as a package clerk,
mm,
and some lady that her dad used to work at a prison in New Folsom back in '95 when I drove up in New Folsom '94 '95, and that's how she knew that like her dad had told her, hey, that inmate is in that prison that he's working in, and you know he's a good dude. If you want to hire him, he's a reliable inmate. Like he's not gonna fucking try to steal from you. Cause in the package room, people steal shit. Like there's a lot of stuff that we're not allowed to have, like the razors and you know a lot of shit goes through there, and they don't they try to keep it away from our hands and shit. Cause you're in a room with them, so they gotta trust you. So yeah, she ended up getting she had already met me somewhere else. I think it was in Lancaster, and then she got the job and she had transferred to Kern Valley within Delano, and she seen me, and she like, back then I didn't have my tattoos on my head, and then when she seen me, she like, fuck, pinche Yanes, what the fuck did you do to your hair? And I told her, hey, I think I'm starting to lose my hair, so I thought it would be a good idea to tattoo my head, so it kind of, give it illusion that I still have a little bit of hair. And she was just cracking up. She goes, hey, go get your fucking blues on. I'm gonna get you a job, cause she had called me for a package. So she ended up giving me a job right there, Yeah, it was on and cracking right away once I got out the shoe. So I was right there. I was working in the package room. And, you know, when you work right there, they gotta trust you. They check your file. They make sure you don't got staff assaults, you don't got sex crimes, you don't got none of that. Other than that, you can't work right there. But yeah, I think that's what I left out, huh? Pretty sure.
No, you
Was
know,
it? You
actually,
remember?
actually, yeah, well, you had talked about that already, where you were working in the packaging room, and then where people had to turn in
Yeah.
their CDs, and somebody actually had asked a question about that, that never heard of,
Okay.
that you could only have a certain amount of CDs, and then you have to turn them in, and then
Oh yeah.
yeah, so you did cover that part, and then how how they were messing with you because you're working in the program office or right there in
Yeah.
that office, and then you were having issues.
Yeah. Well. Look. Yeah. Okay. I remember now. So when the packages drive up, they come in a pallet, right? And it comes from the warehouse, and the warehouse already has a list. So you can modify that list. I mean, you can, but first you got to run that list, and if there's like a few dudes that didn't show up from that list, you could add other people from the second pallet, and that I was allowed to do, and that was like my little hustle. If there was like 8 people that didn't show up, I could add on 8 people from the second pallet, and everybody knew I could do that. But I don't get to pick what race. It's just I got to follow the second list, like whatever race is on that list. So I would ask and I would check. Well, yeah, it became an issue. They thought, like the Morenos, the blacks thought I was fucking calling, like I was making a list and I was calling out Raza, because every time they would be like, they'll call the packages and it'll be all fucking 20 names. It'll be all Mexican last names, like Hispanics or fucking others or whites. And it just happened to be there was no blacks on that list. And it happens sometimes. And so I would get blamed for that shit. So I would be fighting all the time. Like fools would get crazy with me and fucking, they they get froggy dog. They're like, hey, homie, why you only putting your own people on the list? And I would answer. I would take that kind of like this. Like I wouldn't take it so well, homie. I would answer with like, check this out. And when you say check this out, these dudes don't like that. And sometimes you don't even get to finish the fucking your response, and boom, they already swung on you and shit. So a lot of the fights were like, man, I didn't even get to say like 2 words when these fools already cracked me and shit. So a lot of times I was fighting already days. So that job did give me a gang of write-ups. I think I had told you in the past. But yeah, so like, that job had a lot of cool. I would come up on a bunch of stuff. Like I was turning stuff out of TV, CDs, CD players, whatever they were gonna throw away. Like they would let me bring it back and I would fix it. And then half the time I would give it away to dudes that didn't have shit. So I wasn't greedy, but dudes were hating. That's the job that everybody wants. They were dropping. Oh, I think I remember. Yeah, they were dropping kites on me too. They were dropping kites on me, and I think I mentioned this on the last one. So the lieutenant would show me the kite, and I could see through the light. You know how you could put a paper and you could see through the light and you could see the writing. And I was trying to recognize the writing, and I just couldn't, man. And the only thing because the Morenos, they have a certain kind of writing, man. Like it's so identifiable. Like you could tell when it's a black person riding a kite and when it's a raza or when it's a white. For some reason, like when the blacks ride a kite, they use like a piece of paper to try to keep the line straight.
Hello, Javier. If you're talking, we can't hear you.
Okay, hold on. Hey,
Yeah,
how about that?
yeah,
Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada.
Can you hear me now?
yeah, we can hear you now.
Yeah, it keeps cutting off. So how much of it did you catch? How much of it? When did
the
it
last
cut
thing I heard was about the paper, that they use the paper to write.
Okay, yeah. So when people drop kites, a lot of times they use the medical slips, and that paper's thin. So what they do when they drop a kite, they act like they're dropping a medical slip, and it does go to medical, but medical's got to turn it into the captain. So when they get these fucking kites, the paper's so thin you can see through it. So when the when the captain's reading it out to you, Like one guy said, hey, YANEZ got to stab a CO, and if he don't stab a CO, they're going to stab him. He's been bringing in cell phones through the package room. It's all lies. I knew right off top it was bullshit, it was a lie. And the captain told me, hey, do you want to sign the marriage final and go back to the yard, or do you want me to lock you up? I said, man, you can send me right back to the same building, same yard. I mean, like, that shit's bogus. And somebody's just trying to shoot from a job. They want to give me out the yard. They're trying to scare me. And fucking, yeah, sure enough. And I would get those a lot. Like, fools are constantly dropping kites on me because they're just hating. You got spiteful people in here that are, I mean, it's happening in here right now. There's dudes getting their house hit, and they're not even doing nothing. There's just people that have nothing else better to do. They like to see they like to cause fucking commotion and drama in here, dog. It's part of the prison prison life in here, but it's hard. It's harder to get used to that because I'm like, damn, why are people like that? Is it on? Can you hear me?
Yeah, no.
I'm gonna be checking it. So.
Nah,
Yeah,
we're good. Yeah, we could hear you.
Okay, because I was talking to my sister. Right before I called you, and it was cutting in and out. And so, like, I was fucking just going and shit, and then I was like, hello, and she wasn't even on there. So, like, I was really pretty much talking to myself and shit. But, yeah, that Holly right there brought me, like, man, I remember one year, I think in 2014 or 2013, I think I got into, like, 12 or 13 fights from that fucking job. Just that job, over shoelaces. Oh, I did say this, too. Remember I mentioned it over shoelaces one time? Some dude wanted black shoelaces. So I'm trying to remember. You see, we went too long. We went, like a week and a half, and I don't forgot a lot of what I already said. But it's all right, I could recap. And so, yeah, like, a lot of these fucking fights, dog, and the COs were trying to, like, be they were, like, saying, hey, I want me to be your witness on your hearing. That way they don't find you guilty. That's low-key, like, dry snitching. So I would say no. They're like, come on, YANEZ, let me go in there and say that I seen that fool punch you and you're pretty much defending yourself. And I don't know. I just didn't want that kind of shit on my paperwork. And so the COs would trip on me like, damn, YANEZ, you rather take the write-up? I go, yeah, I take the write-up for a mutual combat. And they're like, nah, but I seen that fool punch you. Like, all these fights you've been getting into behind this job, like, you're pretty much fucking, like, you're not guilty. You're just fucking defending yourself. I go, yeah, but at the same time, it wouldn't look right because wherever you go, you got to present your paperwork. And, a lot of times I share my write-up so everybody knows everything about me. And when they see that write-up and they see that I went for a 115 hearing for getting into a fight and that I used a correctional officer to testify on my behalf, that's just, I don't know, it's probably just, I don't know, I didn't feel comfortable doing it, But I will explain to the board. I don't have a problem telling the board how it went down, and I'm pretty sure they wrote it down somewhere in their file, because even though I didn't allow them to be a witness on my shit, they still write it there. They still got to log it somewhere. But yeah, man, fucking. So yeah, that job got me a lot of shit, but at the same time, it got me a lot of drama, a lot of hating, And I mean, I was working from like 6 o'clock in the morning to like 4 in the afternoon every single day for like 2 years. I didn't even get a day off. And I was getting it done, dog. Like we were getting so many packages passed out. And after they got rid of me right there and from that job, I mean, everybody was missing it because there was no more extra CDs, there was no more TVs, there was no kind of play.
Le queda un restante de 60 segundos.
They didn't want to hire nobody else because, these dudes kept dropping kites saying that I was bringing in cell phones, and it was not true, like, fuck. So, but the captain didn't want to risk it, so now they had to scan it. All the packages, every day, they would double scan them, and they didn't, because people were getting busted with a bunch of phones and shit, so they were like, fuck, where are these fucking phones coming from? Is it really YANEZ? And I would, like, my boss would tell me, hey, pinche YANEZ, are you fucking doing this? I said, no, I'm not. We could scan these fucking boxes. I'll scan them with you. And no, they never found none in the boxes. But they didn't want to risk it. So after 2 years, they pretty much had to get rid of me. And I ended up getting a job they gave me a yard crew. They gave me a yard crew job. And that was even worse. Because now you got all these fucking gang members that want me to bring out fucking pieces out to the yard. because they're gonna go at it, and the only way for me to bring out the.
All right, so his 15 minutes were up. He should be calling us back shortly. And right now, I'll go ahead and let him know that you're tuning in, Marlene. I just didn't want to interrupt him in the middle of his conversation. And today and tomorrow. So obviously today, I didn't get to stream in the daytime. I was pretty much stuck at work the whole day. But I went ahead and had sent a message to Javier earlier on to call me up, and he called me before I got into work. And then right now when I was driving back, I just told him to give me a call, so we could just touch up on what we're gonna run today. And he called me up. So here we are now. So yeah, he's definitely gonna be coming back and continue on his journey. I think right now we're like in 2000 and I want to say like 2004, 2013, 2013 or 2014, right around that time. So we still got about another 10 years of stories or journey that he has to cover. So he'll definitely be getting into that over the next few days or a few weeks. Probably most likely it's gonna take him for him to cover that time. Anyhow, as soon as he calls back, then we'll go ahead and continue. But yeah, so earlier on, I had sent him a message. I was like, hey, you gotta do I was like, mandatory. You have to do a prison facelift tutorial. And he was like, how am I supposed to do that? I was like, hey, don't even trip. We'll figure it out. But I was like, man, we gotta bring that to TikTok. So hopefully that'll be dropping soon. As soon as we're able to pull that off. So definitely stay tuned if you're interested in seeing what a prison facelift looks like. So I'm definitely curious to see how that's gonna turn out and how that's gonna work out. So I know earlier on I had asked him to call me a little bit earlier, and from the conversation we were having, he was saying that they were having some issues with the phone, and it's been a common occurrence. If you've been on any of the streams, you've noticed that normally in like later on in the evening, these calls start having issues, whether they start sounding robotic, or if they can't hear me or I can't hear them, or they just are not able to connect at all. They'll continue to try to call in for like 10, 15, 20 minutes sometimes, and these calls just don't go through. So I'm not sure if they're doing anything on their end, if GTL is doing anything on their end to rectify the situation, because they're obviously their network can't handle all the calls that are being made at this prison at the same time. So hopefully they get that figured out sooner than later, because it definitely not a good look. I mean, even though I don't have any control over it, it's not a good look, especially nowadays that people don't like to wait. They just want instant gratification. So he's definitely taking a little bit longer than normal to call me back. So you know what? Well, I think it's the same company. It's GTL and Telmate. I think it's the same company. It's I think just GTL is like the parent company.
This call is now being recorded.
Global Telling. Usted tiene una llamada prepagada de
Javier Yañez.
Man,
un preso recluido en de la prisión estatal de Centinela, California. Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada. You have a prepaid call. You will not be charged for this call. Para aceptar esta llamada, diga o oprima ahora el 5. Gracias por utilizar Global Tel Link.
Hello.
Hey.
Javier. We can't hear you. I heard you when the call connected, but after that you just went silent. You went dark mode, so we can't hear you right now. Were you having some issues? Reconnecting? I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey.
All right. Cool. We could hear you now. Yeah.
Back in?
Yeah, you're back in.
Yeah.
You're back in the game like EA
Hey.
Sports.
Yeah, today's like it's like a football, it's like a righteous football game or a baseball, any kind of game. It's like us versus them, So they're gonna be fucking with us here and there, Because, it's a night shift, dog. So they come, these cops, they switch, and they sit there in the office, and they're like, they can't fuck with everybody at the same time, so they're constantly just going around and but hopefully he'll get tired of it. But, yeah, eventually he does, There was one night where everybody was mad as fuck. Every single building, there was just some troll was just fucking with the phones the whole time. Nobody could talk. He kept hanging everybody up. So it's just one of them days. So we'll see how far we can get. Just let me know when I'm cut out. Or I'll just ask from time to time if you're still there. That way I don't continue to talk and shit. Are you still there right now?
Yeah, nah. Don't do that because then if I step away from the computer, then I have to run all the way back and tell you that I can hear you. But if you go silent, I'll go ahead and let you know.
Okay. Yeah. So going back before we're cut off. So yeah, going back to what I was saying. Yeah. So I believe this year, I'm in the year 2014. I think 2013. I'm lost in the year, the exact time, but I kind of fast forwarded from I kind of went a little too fast.
Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada.
But every so often when I do remember something that I should have said, maybe on a certain year, I'll take it back. But yeah, so I believe this was in 2013 or 14, somewhere around there. It was one of them years, man, where even though I just got off the shoe and I'm doing good, I'm still going through shit, like it never stops. I mean, it just keeps going and going, especially when you're doing good. Like every time you do.
All right, you went dark again. We can't hear you. So anyhow, so like I was saying earlier on, so it's the same company. GTO I think is the parent company, and then it has some smaller companies, but it's okay. You're back on. Yep. You're back. You went back to dark mode. Still can't hear you. So anyhow, so yeah, pretty much it's the same company. It's just under the same umbrella, just a different name. But they're not fooling anybody. Well, at least not me, cause it's all the same monopoly, just a different name. Javier, can you hear me? Testing 1 2 3. Hello, Javier. Yeah, if this keeps up, I'm probably gonna end up cutting the stream. I was trying to do a stream before before the night was over, just because I wasn't able to run anything earlier on today, because like I said, I was at work, and pretty much it's gonna be the same thing for tomorrow. I'm gonna be stuck at work all day, but I'll definitely be streaming for sure on Sunday, because yeah, no, I definitely agree with you right there on that one, Marlene. Yeah, it's gotten way worse. Instead of it being an upgrade, it was definitely a downgrade. It's the calls have been getting horrible. The either the voice is dropping, or they sound like robots, or they're not able to connect, and it's been like that for the last few days. But I mean, I guess they're not being held. They're not being held accountable, or it doesn't seem like they're doing anything about it. But hopefully they resolve this, sooner than later, because they're messing up. They're definitely messing me up over here. Hey, Biddy K, how's it going? Top of the morning to you, if it's the morning over there in the UK. I'm not sure what time it is over there right now, but thank you for tapping in, tuning in. So I've been trying to figure out like this whole thing on how to get verified on the GTL Getting Out app. I was reading a topic on Reddit on how to fix it or get approved. I guess after you upload your ID information, you have to email them if you don't get approved, and then you have to speak to somebody. Just got a message. Let me see. So finally, I was able to get approved for the video visit. So definitely looking. Sorry, I was reading an email right now, but so yeah, definitely looking forward to doing some video visits with these gentlemen. Hopefully, we'll have something coming out within the next few days or so. Definitely exciting. So this call with Javier he's not reconnecting. I'm gonna go ahead and cut it, and hopefully he calls us back. And when he does call us back, we are able to continue with his journey. If not, then I'll try to speak for the next few minutes. And I normally have a hard time keeping it going. I'm not like a lot of the people that come on where they could just talk for hours on hours on top of hours. It's like, for me, it's like grasping and trying to grab straws in the air just to keep myself going and speaking, if you will. And I'm reading the messages right here. So Marlene put more drop calls and audio going in and out. Yeah, it's horrible. It's horrible. And then they sometimes they sound like they're underwater or bubbly. Yep. In the beginning, we didn't have to get approved to do the FaceTimes. Yeah, well, you know what? And then I found out. Yeah, so I called GTL up, and then the dude pretty much told me, because I thought that I could schedule the calls on my end, but it turns out that I can't do it from my end. They have to initiate it on their end. So I had Javier try it today, and it worked. So we're definitely set on track to go ahead and do that shortly. So I'm definitely excited, and I think the majority of them don't even know what I look like either. It's just been pretty much over the phone. I think maybe the one of the only ones that knows what I look like would be Jesse and David and.
This call is now being recorded.
Global Link. Usted tiene una llamada prepagada de
Javier YANEZ.
Un preso recluido de la prisión estatal de Centinela, California. Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada. You have a prepaid call. You will not be charged for this call. Para aceptar esta llamada, diga o oprima ahora el 5. Gracias por utilizar Global Link.
Hello, Javier.
Working?
Yeah, we can hear
Hello?
you now. Yeah, we can hear you now.
Yeah. Hey, you know what? Hopefully, I mean, from what I hear, like, this does happen, like, around this time, like, this last few days. But, like, once it hits, like, 11, supposedly it should be smooth. So, I mean, we'll try to go again. And I mean, I don't know what time you want to sleep. We'll probably make a short one today. What time you got to go? You work tomorrow?
Yeah, man. They just. You remember I had told you that I was gonna go in the evening. I was gonna be going in after 4:00. They actually asked me if I could switch over to the morning shift. I'm guessing the person that was gonna work that shift, they called off. So I was like, screw it. I'll go in earlier and then I'll get off. So instead of getting off at 3 a.m., I'll get off at 9 p.m. tomorrow. So I was asking my wife when I got home, I was like, what do you prefer? Do you prefer me to be home, a few hours in the evening, and then going late and then get off, in the a.m., or do you want me to go in early and then I'll be at home at night? She was like, well, just do the early shift. All right, then cool. So I hit on my boss. I was like, yeah, I'll come in. I'll come in the early shift. Yeah, but
get out the way, huh?
But pretty much I'm gone all day. Like when I leave the house, I normally leave my house. I would say, because I gotta drive like in the mornings, like an hour drive with all the traffic and everything, and so I leave my house like at about, I would say like at about 9:30, and then I don't get back home until 9 p.m. So I'm gone, a huge chunk of my day. And
that was today too, huh?
yeah,
That's
you
what time
remember?
you went today, huh?
So you remember we
Yeah,
called
that's
in,
crazy.
we talked in the morning, right before I was gonna go to
Yeah,
work,
yeah,
and then
yeah.
we talked right after I got off of work. So I've been imagine like all the other stuff you did throughout your day, and I was still stuck right there slaving away at work.
Yeah, and I got a lot of shit done, man. Hey, I went to school, fucking, I told you that kid was bullying that little fat boy, and fucking, I was like, I almost got in a fight with that kid, man, because I was telling that dude, So yeah, a lot of shit happened in between time, man. It's something. Yeah, but it's unfortunately like the way, we had this shit set up. It was cool. I was thinking of getting in like a little hour and shit. But I mean, we'll do one or two at least, so that way they know that I'm still here and I'm still gonna finish my story. I don't know if are you still having people call in? Like when it cuts off, it wouldn't be a bad idea for you to keep talking. That way you keep them.
Yeah,
keep them there.
Yeah, well, that's what I was doing, but like I'm not like you, like you when you sit there and you start talking and you could talk and talk and talk. Like I can't do that. For me, it's real. Like I gotta. No, like for reals. Like I can't. Like for me, it takes a lot, But doing these calls and whatnot, it's definitely helped me out, to be a lot more comfortable, and be able to talk, freely. But I'm not at the level that you are, that you could sit there and you could talk for like 2 hours straight and you could just go and go.
But
like,
that's mostly like fucking nerve because I'm nervous. Like
shit, I wish I was nervous and I could and I can't stop talking.
Yeah, cause look at like telling a story is not easy. Cause so you gotta pretty much rewind your brain and try to remember everything and then.
Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada.
And then you got these interruptions right here, but at the same time you got to make it interesting for people to like without putting too much on it, because I always worry about like, man, does that sound? Because some of this shit that I'm telling you is, I mean, when I was going through it, it was unbelievable for me to see to be able to go through some shit. I'll be like, a lot of the shit that I go through, like inside in my brain, it's kind of, oh, man, I cannot believe this shit, but this shit is really happening, But yeah, like some of this shit does happen, man. Like this shit right here. Like remember I was telling you earlier, like on a private call about like the way they're feeding us now, man. Like this prison is getting at the same time it's getting better in some parts, but it's getting worse in other parts. Like I think I mentioned to you that we're gonna be playing sports against the COs now. That used to be like a no, unheard of. Like that's not gonna happen. But because this is a non-contact sport, I guess it's gonna build. It's gonna get us. Get these cops to stop being mean to us and shit. Cause they're hella mean sometimes, dog. Like last time they tried to take my hat, cause I had, I put a little writing on the bottom of it. I put the Chargers logo on the bottom of my hat, and they're like, "Hey, take the hat off." I'm like, "Word, nowhere in the fucking in your rule thing does it say we can't write on our own fucking shit. As long as we're not writing gang stuff." We could draw art stuff in our shit, but I didn't want to argue with them, so I took off the hat. And they're just fucking that little power trip. They just want to, they just want to make your day, they're trying to get you to have a miserable day by them getting on your ass. But yeah, fucking, hold on, one of my earbuds fell off, hold on. Okay. Yeah, man, it's like every day is this, they come up with new rules, like, and you can't fight these dudes. You can't go against it. You just gotta. So hopefully this new thing that they're starting to do would, kind of build a little bridge, of a communication and open line of communication with them, so that way they start tripping on us like that. So I guess that's a plus right there. But,
hopefully.
Okay, going back to my story, before I bore you guys. Yeah, so I think 2014, I think I was a clerk from 2014, 15, 16. All the way to like 2016. So you could only imagine the shit I went through having that job. I would wake up in the morning, and then at the same time while I was having that job, it was the times when I was having the phones too. So I had to wake up, put the phones away, fucking, early in the morning. I would have to fish to like 4 cells down, you know, and then at the same time you have to be real slick, make sure the cop don't see the line and all this shit. And I'm doing all this like when it's super quiet, where you can hear a pin drop on the floor. You can hear people snoring still. So that was like my whole maybe from 2000. I would say 13, 14, all the way to like 16. That was my program right there, and you know, people knew because people see, you know, and you know, these dudes that were doing their little thing. You know, the law library people. There was two law library females that were working there, and I guess they got busted, you know, having sex with the inmates right there. And these inmates recorded these broads, you know, like they were in there getting busy, and one inmate was recording her while she was giving that fool a fucking oral sex and all that shit. So, man, that shit was like, this 2 years were like the craziest, two of my craziest years because, yeah, I mean, I couldn't believe some of the shit that was going on in that prison, you know, like, what the fuck, this prison is so loose. You had the canteen lady bringing in pounds of weed, fucking, they were raiding we were getting raided at 2 o'clock in the morning. We would all be asleep and shit. That's when I had that one arm, my celly, the one arm, the dementia, that had a bad memory. And fucking, they would hit our house like at fucking 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. They never found nothing, but it was crazy because the way they were fucking rushing our cells, they would come in fully suited and booted with their helmets and screaming, "Get up, walk towards our boy." And you could only imagine, you know, they wake you off asleep and you got a bunch of cops with helmets and a bunch of sticks outside the door screaming at you to fucking look towards the wall and walk backwards, and they're all cuffing you, throwing you on the ground. And you're lost. You're like, what the fuck is going on right here? But yeah, man, for like years they kept doing that shit. And every time they did it, they never really found shit. So somebody was dropping kites because they knew, you know, the haters. You always got haters, you know. People that are not getting shit. Most of the time it was the fools that were, you know, strung out on dope. They knew that the fools had shit. They knew fools that had dope, and they weren't getting none. So the way they would get over is they were telling you. They're trying to get you busted. They knew there was somewhere around there, their cell phones. They're trying to take your phones. They don't want you to have nothing because they don't have nothing. So, you know, you're not only trying to hide shit from the COs, you're also trying to hide shit from the inmates because some inmates are just built that way. You know, they're fucking scumbags from the gate. And, but yeah, man, it was, you know, I'm gonna tell you what, it was something to go through, dog. And throughout this whole thing, my boss would always tell me, like, hey, man, please don't get me caught up, man. If you're doing something, don't bring it to the cell. Don't do it here, you know. And I would tell her because I respected her 100%. I would tell her, Ms. B, hey, check this out. Like, I would never do that. Whoever's doing this, whoever's dropping these kites is just hating on me. And I don't understand why. It's not like I'm being a tight ass. Every time I bring like CDs, I will pass them out on the tier. I wasn't even selling them. I would go down the tier and I'll offer dudes good CDs. You know, they were, you know, the decent ones. You know, after half the time I was giving all the shit away, dog. Especially because I was trying to keep these fools from fucking hating on me.
Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada.
Yeah, it's all, like on the weekends I'll go out there and play like a little basketball game, a soccer game, and you know my program was pretty much, you know, working. But every so often I'll get off early on the weekends and I'll go out to play soccer. I love playing soccer, and I'll go out there and I'll meet with a couple of, you know, mostly Paso dudes from. I would hang around mostly with dudes for like the Mexican nationals, you know, because I like the way they clown around. You know, they give each other carrilla and. It's a whole different vibe, you know, when you kick it with like fools that are born in Mexico, because, you know, the certain kind of clowning is different, you know, and they play real hard, you know, and then when you play with dudes from over here, a lot of them are, you know, you can't, you know, like a lot of them, you can't really do mom jokes. Once you come to prison, mom jokes are out the window, you know, they're out the window, but you could do mom jokes in the. I remember with the crew I kicked it with, we used to do mom jokes all the time. You know, and so coming in here, you had pretty much had to learn how to stay away from fucking doing mama jokes, or, you know, stay away from the family jokes kind of stuff. So fucking, I used to kick it with the Paisas. I used to go and play soccer. And so my days were They were pretty. I mean, I could say at the same time I had a lot of fun, dog. I had a lot of fun. There was a lot of bad and a lot of good, and I managed I managed to go through all this without fucking getting involved in the gang stuff. I never joined none of the SNY gangs. I never really fucking, the reason I came on this side was because I didn't want to be I no longer wanted to be active and be involved in any kind of gang stuff. I just wanted to do me, get out, try to get out and try to live, a clean, righteous path. And every so often you run into people that are fucking hating on it. They know you're doing good. They know you're trying to stay out of trouble, so they come and borrow stuff from you, with a bad intention, knowing that you're gonna say, yeah, here, but that's when they say they take the kindness for weakness. So a lot of times they will find out a little too late once they push me. So most of the times that I ended up doing the shoot them was because I was being nice to somebody, and because they were trying to fucking get over on me, and it was just so hard. My pride would not let them get away with it, which is pretty stupid. I should have just let them get away with it and let them think whatever they want to think, and I probably would have been out a long time ago. But our pride is I worried about how people view me and my reputation. So I always wanted to be like a fucking tough guy. Like, nah, you ain't gonna burn me. You're gonna pay me. So that was like an everyday fucking challenge. It was a struggle. It was a struggle. It was a mind struggle on myself. Like, at times I would go through some shit. I would go back in myself, and I'd sit there and I'd start plotting. Like, man, this dude cussed me out. This dude didn't pay me. He called me this. He called me that. I can't let it go. There was a homie there. He heard it. Word's gonna get around. This dude fucking called me a bitch, and I ain't doing nothing about it. So I would sit home and I would plot, like, how am I gonna get this dude, And those are the times that I hate it, man, because, I like to be happy, dog. I like being more friendly. I like to be nice to people, and you're not always gonna get that back, but there's times when it gets you. Like today, I'm in school, man. I'm doing my homework, and there's this younger dude, fucking he's fat shaming a little fat boy that's in the classroom, and I'm not liking it. So I go and tell him. I get off my feet and I walk up to him and I tell him, hey, dog, hey, homie, cut that shit out, dog. Like, hey.
Le queda un restante de 60 segundos.
And then I did it to him, see how he liked it. I go, you over here clowning the little fat boy, but have you seen yourself when you play handball? I say, your fucking titties are swinging all over the fucking place. And that fool got hella mad. You could see his eyes just turn red hot. And I go, you see how you felt there? And I go, because damn well, dog, like, you don't even work out, fool. Like, when you play handball, I'm not, you're sagging too hard. You got to at least do some push-ups if you're going to be clowning the homie right there. The homie's fat, but he works out. I would bet you anything that fool could take you on a fight, And I just couldn't let it go. So, it's every day, I'm constantly going through some shit. So, and then times when I had that job, it was always something, there was not one day that they wouldn't leave me alone. I would get like maybe 20 names, people with kites. Hey, can you see if my package is there? I'll give you this.
All right, so Marlene put Javi a savage with the comebacks. Yeah, man, he is man. He's hilarious, man. That's why I do. I definitely like to talk to him. He's one of the ones that I'll talk to him off of the air. We'll just have conversations and whatnot. And man, he does. He has a way of telling his stories that I find quite amusing. And Biddy K put football, laughing out loud. Sorry, just joking, but it makes me laugh.
This call is now being recorded.
Link. Usted tiene una llamada prepagada de
Javier Yáñez.
Un preso recluido de la prisión estatal de Centinela, California. Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada. You have a prepaid call. You will not be charged for this call. Para aceptar esta llamada, diga o oprima ahora el 5. Gracias por utilizar Global Tel Link.
All right, Javi.
Hello?
All right, yeah. All right,
Yeah.
it's all you.
Okay. Yeah, so, yeah, going back to my story, yeah, so fucking, yeah, so I could honestly say, man, like, those were, besides the time when I came on this side and going through where, maybe a good, maybe a good 3 years of that when I was in Salinas, when there was two of my good homies that were there, and you know they both wanted to kill each other, and I was playing mediator. I was trying to be like the peacekeeper in between them. So that time and this time when I was a package clerk, man, they were pretty much almost the same thing. But you know, now I'm on this side. You know, now I'm trying to fucking, you know, now I don't have to ask for permission to go fuck somebody up or to go stab somebody. You know, when you're active, you gotta ask for permission. You can't just go and do it. You gotta go, you know, you gotta go plead a case. You gotta go tell them why you did not do it. What's the problem? Right here, everybody does whatever they want. So that's why I tell everybody, you know, you come on the non-active side, man. There's more vicious than the active side. You know, there's more dudes in here that are fucking taking their cellies out. They're killing their cellies. They're fucking stabbing people. They're stabbing each other because they don't gotta answer up to nobody. So you know, coming on this side, you know, that's knowing that I got all that, so that would make it so easy for me to get in trouble, you know, and I checked myself, you know, I could say in my last 6 years when I finally ended up a single cell status, when I almost killed my study, you know, that was a rude awakening. That was like, man, I'm glad that the dude lived, because had he not, you know, I would have for sure never gotten out. You know, I probably would have just gotten a life without. And that's usually what happens when you're a lifer and you catch an in-house murder, you end up getting a life without. So by the grace of God, that didn't happen. And so, you know, every day to me, you know, it's a gift for me. I value life a lot. Like I learned as I got older, you know, I knew that, you know, I knew I had to change. I knew I had to let things go. I had to buy my time, let people think whatever they want to think. If they think I'm not going to do nothing, so well, dude, let them think. Let them call me a chum. Let them call me words. You know, I regret a lot of this shit. Actually, I'm going to say I regret everything I did, you know, other than the times that I had to defend myself when I got threatened. And, you know, I had to beat him to the punch. Where am I going? Like, there's nowhere to run to. You know, we're all in the same yard, and they're just talking about he's going to stab me, so I have to beat him to the punch. So, yeah, like, other than that, you know, I'm pretty good at fucking, you know, like, you know, bringing down something that, bringing it from a 10 to a 2, you know, like, talking people out of stuff, you know. Most of the time, like, when it has to do with me, it's hard to talk myself down from not doing things. But, like, I've stopped so many fights from happening. I fucking got dudes that were friends that fought before to become friends again. Well, there's not really friends, but to pretty much get along, to be able to be in the same classroom, in the same group, and you know, just respect each other's boundaries and still get along, you know, because friends are, you know, the closest you think you could probably get in prison to a friend is just having somebody that you could, you know, vent to and talk to, and, you know, tell them what you're going through, and tell them who's messing with you, who you think is plotting, and, you know, because you got to trust. There's a lot of trust issues here. If there's no trust, you know, like, you're pretty much stuck in your cell. There's dudes that never come out their cell. You only see them when they go to work, and, you know, and they're back in their house. They never come out, you know. But, you know, I cannot do that. I still got to go out there and, you know, run my laps in the yard and work out. You hit the gym, hit the big bars and all that. So I have to deal with everything that's all the surroundings, you know. There's dudes that are high on fucking spice sometimes, you know, and you got to be able to spot it and be able to avoid it. So, yeah, you know, I maneuvered my way around a bunch of shit, you know. The most thing that I'm proud of myself is that I never joined one of these gangs on this side. You know, it to me is like, why am I going to do that, you know? And I talk to these kids that do it, like, hey, you know, this is not going to get you nowhere, you know. You're going to be jumping from gang to gang, because a lot of dudes, once they become from one gang, they get straight from that one, they go to another gang, and then to another gang. And now when you try to come back to a regular, none of the regulars are gonna accept you because they know that, you're phony. So why put yourself in that predicament, especially if you're a lifer? A lot of these dudes that get into these little gangs on the inside, is majority of the time they have dates. They got release dates, so they're hindering our fucking our ability to program because they're killing the program. They're fucking, half the time everything good that we got going is usually messed up by them. They got a pizza sale, and I don't think we're gonna get it. I don't think everybody paid for the pizza, and there's an incident that happened. And when there's an incident, you kind of forge your pizza. So who gets the pizza? The COs, and then another yard gets the pizza. So hopefully they run it, because we were supposed to get it today, and it didn't happen. Some dude, what's crazy is that, I don't know if I told you, the same day that I got that video, the hot water, where the homie stabbed the homie and threw the hot water on his face,
yeah.
There was a dude in Tega. Okay, there was a dude in Tega. So when I seen that video that you sent me, and I seen the cop boiling water, it's so funny because I went to breakfast, and you could watch. Ask Gary about it. We were coming back from breakfast, and there was screaming. A fool had a dude like on a headlock outside the yard in front of early 6 o'clock in the morning. Hella cold too, in front of the building, and he was trying to kill him with the headlock, and he was not letting go of his. He had him in a guillotine, like one of them chokeholds, but his whole face was burnt up. So I guess on the way to breakfast, this fool came out with a cup of water, a hot boiling water, and it had like syrup, like a sticky substance, and threw it in his face, and it burned. They gave him 30-degree burns all over his face. And they're like, what the fuck? I just got a video. I told Gary, what are the odds of this shit? I just got a video last night where the homie sent, when I was talking about the story, when the homie threw boiling water at his own cousin, because they went at it. And he goes, that's crazy. I go, yeah, look it, that just happened today. So what the fuck? What's the odds of that? I forgot to mention that to you on the private call too. But yeah, so before that, some fool fucking dude got killed right here in the, I don't know if you seen that on the news. You probably did. It came all over the news. This dude got killed right here in the other yard. And I guess they fucking took him out. They like big time. They whacked him a gang of times. So that dude was fucking. He was short to the house. And that just happened. So the captain got tired of all the incidents, and they locked us down for like 2 days. So I think they're taking that shit personal, but it has nothing to do with us. Like there's the majority of us. We're trying to program. We're following the rule. We're not getting in trouble. We're not fighting. We're all doing what we're supposed to do. And then yesterday they surprise raided the whole building. Like I'm in here with the fucking like 3 radios opened up. I got 4 fans. I got like 4 or 5 CD players, and I'm bumping the radio hella loud. And I look out the door and there's like.
Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada.
And I was early in the morning too, and there was like 20 cops out there, and they started searching. And when it came to my cell, I just looked at the cop. I go, hey man. I fixed it, and I'm working on that radio right there, that big-ass radio. That's not mine, man. I don't want to lose that shit. And he just looked at me. He goes, hey, you good? Hey, that fool came on my pad, and he didn't even move nothing. Like, he respected the fact that I told him straight up, like, hey, I got a bunch of shit in here. Like, I don't want to lose it, man. Don't make me have to go through some shit. And I guess, he was one of the cool cops. But, yeah, that was a scary moment. I don't want to lose shit that belongs to other people, and then I'm gonna have to replace them or whatnot, So yeah, like a lot of shit's been happening right here, man. I thought I was gonna come to a level 3 and it was gonna be better than this, but I guess I'll get the hang of it in time. The most important part is staying focused. Like don't let these fucking kids push me. Don't let them. I still struggle with that. But I get a little complejo, especially when they talk about when they body shame people. I don't like that, dog. I hate seeing that. My mom taught me not to be like that, and so I never talk about people's bodies or how they look, or if they fall. I don't laugh at people when they fall. You got all kinds of every type of character in here, and it's hard for me to ignore that part. It's hard for me not to say nothing. But I have to just, just pretend I'm not hearing shit, I guess, in order to get out of here, man. Man, that's the hardest part, but yeah. So yeah, going back to, so Salinas, man, Kern Valley. So when I left Kern Valley and I'm in Salinas now, I'm going through the same shit that I was going through when I was active, but now it's on this side, and now I don't gotta ask. I'm doing whatever I want to do. So it's whatever I want to do could lead into me getting in trouble. And I was staying away from everything, though. I don't like doing drugs. Every time I tried them, like I would do it the only times I did it like on peer pressure, like if I had a celly and say he had a little bit of meth, he'd like, come on, do a line. And every time they convinced me to do a line, as soon as I do it, I regretted it. And it's like, fuck, why did I do it? Just to fucking satisfy this dude so he could shut up. And here I go, and then the next day I have to go to work, and then I have to hide the fact that I didn't hardly sleep nothing, and I felt like a zombie. And my boss was good at spotting that shit. She would tell me, come here, pendejo. And she would look me in the eye and goes, hey, you fucking drinking cocaine? I'm like, nah. He goes, yeah, look at your fucking eyes. I go, hey, B, I'm not. He goes, fucking lie to me, how you? She tries down right there, and she knew me that good, and I mean, she would scold me like she was my mom, and I like that about her, because she cared, and she would tell me, hey, Javi, please don't fucking fall into this little trap, but these dudes start getting lost in drugs and fucking give up on life and just become fucking one of the cluckers that fucking want to get high every day and cluck all this shit. And I would tell her, like, no, B, every time I try it, I regret it, and most of the time I do it just to shut my cellies up, But, ever since I became single cell, and I don't have to deal with that, I'm so happy, I'm so clean, I worked out a lot, and I'm proud of myself, though. And I knew that all the times that I did fuck up, or the times that I drank, even when I drank alcohol, it was always because my celly wanted me to drink. You're a party pooper, drink a cup. I'm like, fuck, all right, I'll drink a cup. And I'm one of them belligerent drunks. Nobody wants to be around me when I'm drunk because I'm fucking bouncing all over the place. I'm dancing, I'm hugging, I'm fucking clowning, I'm screaming, I'm yelling. So yeah, like you don't want to give, you don't want to. I want to make sure they don't want to drink with me again. So I guess that was like a little tactic on my part. But it still happened, it still happened. And there was dudes that would spice my fucking shit. One time I remember one time I ate a burrito, and fucking I started feeling like weird, like what the fuck? And I guess these dudes that laced the burrito, they fucking threw a bunch of mess in the burrito, because I was like, all of a sudden I went from eating burritos and I was super hungry to not hungry. And I knew it, I could feel it, and everybody was laughing. And I was in a day when I'm looking, I'm like, you motherfuckers, man, I gotta go to work tomorrow. And they're just cracking up. They're thinking that shit's funny, So that's another thing that I had to watch out for. Because even though they do spread, now I learn not to trust the spread, because they're thinking they're doing something good for you, And I understand. They don't mean nothing bad by it. They think it's funny, that you go from fucking being super hungry to not hungry, or being drunk to not drunk. One time I was super drunk, and they fucking gave me another cup of lining with a gang of fucking crystal in it. And that sobered me up, like, on the first shot. I'm like, what the fuck? And I told them. And like, man, it's little bullets that you got to learn how to fucking catch and dodge, man. And it's like to me, it's not worth me getting mad when they do that shit. It's not worth the whole fucking drama and whatever's going to happen behind it. So I would just let go, dog. But and now that I'm here and I'm single cell, it's like I love it, dog, because I'm staying out of trouble. I still got to deal with what happens when I walk out, and I still confront certain situations, But I'm dealing with it, homie. I'm dealing with it, and like I was telling you on private calls, there's days when I'm down, dog, and I feel lonely. I feel left out. I feel fucking like fuck. Like I don't have like everybody here has like somebody they call every day, they go out to dinner and they do a video call every day. I don't have that.
Le queda un restante de 60 segundos.
I got a bunch of brothers, man, but they're like out of sight, out of mind, man. Like I've been down 30 years to them. I'm like, I don't really exist. I'm dead, but I'm dead, but at the same time I'm alive, but in a different world. Because the only time I come into their world is when I call my mom. And, it's a sad thing, because I would never do that to none of my...
Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada.
Well, my other brothers were busted, man. My brother, remember, I would take my mom to visit. I would write him letters. I would send him money. So it's just different kind of people, and I don't see how they win like that. And I blame it kind of low key on social media. I think it's about to hang up. Do you still want me to do another one, or are you tired? Do you want to go to sleep?
We'll do one more. We'll do. I still have enough energy for one
more.
Yeah.
Cause...
So man, yeah. I mean, man, that's what happens. I mean, you go to prison, people forget about you. Even your family, and I mean, when you're out there doing these things, those are not the things that you're thinking about. You're thinking about living in the moment, and and then you find yourself in a situation like this, and you find out, who really wants to be part of your life and who doesn't. A lot of times, a lot of people, they forget about you, especially friends. Friends in the street are not most likely not going to be your friends once you go to prison. Normally the people that are going to stick by you is going to be your family, your mom. Number one, your mom.
This call is now being recorded.
Global Telling. Usted tiene una llamada prepagada de
Javier YANEZ.
Un preso recluido de la prisión estatal de Centinela, California. Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada. You have a prepaid call. You will not be charged for this call. Para aceptar esta llamada, diga o oprima ahora el 5. Gracias por utilizar Global Telling.
Hello,
Javi.
Hey.
Javi.
Yeah.
Hey, so.
Javi. Yeah.
Hey, so I hadn't mentioned to you yet, but we have, I'm not sure, but we have Marlene in here, and we also got Biddy K coming in from the UK.
Órale. Biddy K, man. I miss Biddy K, man. I let her know I seen her picture. Yeah, it's good to finally put a face to the voice to the to the people. I was right here tripping on it. I was like, orale, like, looking at her, I would think like she lives over here. She looks like somebody that lives on this side of the world, not on that side of the world, in a good way, Yeah. But yeah, I said a shout out to both Marlene and Biddy K. What's up with the Iceman? The Iceman's not on there?
Nah, he's probably sleeping because normally we don't go on this.
Yeah.
Late. Hey, but I was telling Marlene that you're about to be bringing you're about to be the latest or the next biggest TikTok sensation with your. You're gonna guinea pig me, ass. You're gonna use me, fucker. Hey, I don't think I can do it, but I'm gonna try. You're gonna do it, homie. You can do it. You can do it.
Oh man, I'm gonna have to pick up put the tape behind my ears and other shit. I'm gonna have Gary. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna have Gary hold one side, and then I'm gonna put the ear right there. Put the tape behind the ear, and then once I do that, so I'm gonna have Gary. But I'm gonna be slick about it. I'm gonna tell me, fool, just pretend you're looking at my tattoos and kind of. Oh, let me see, turn this way, and then bam, lay the tape on her. And then I'm going to look at the camera. I said, before, you see me now, and then you see me now. Hey, that shit does, it takes, I'm going to say a good 10 years.
No, yeah, and you're going to need help because you can't hold, you can't hold the telephone receiver and talk to us while you're doing it, because you need both of your hands to put the tape up,
No, I can use the earbuds. Look at so they got the kiosks, right? They got a computer right there, and then you could also take your tablet. You take your tablet, and they got like little slots, and you put the slot right there, and you could do the video call through your tablet.
Oh.
So it also remember earlier we tried it.
Yeah.
That's why we tried it earlier, and when it came on, I was able to see you for a hot minute, like a hot second, and then it went off. But yeah, we could do it to a tablet, but it's weird because it only works when you put it on that little. It's like a little slider. And you put it on there, and it holds it right there, and you can stand up. They got some that are low. Yeah, so we could, and I could put the earbuds on and do it. Yeah, because I was just playing about that having Gary help me. I think that would look kind of gay. What you think? Like I'm straight.
Hey,
no, I'll put the earbuds on.
It's that
Marlene. Gonna be laughing.
Hey, Marlene put she said, hey, tell him he's gonna get more pen pals if he does it. Man, yeah, you're gonna be the latest craze, man. I'm telling you.
Yeah, Hey, you know what? Hey, look it. Let me put you up on game on one. Okay, so the homie Jesse, right? Jesse, so he was doing a video call, and what he did, he moved his arm like to fix his hair, and then he moved his other arm like a minute later. But his brother messed with something. He hooked it up to where he made it do it back and forth, and then he put music in the background, and it looked like he was dancing to like an old school song, and he was smiling, and but it looked so funny because they put music in the background, and he posted that up on one of them TikTok videos, right?
Yeah.
And that fool got a gang of he got a gang of printouts, like a gang, like within hours, he got like 7 or 8 of them. I guess because they liked it, because it looked like a happy-ass inmate dancing and doing a video call and dancing right there and shit. Hella happy to be in prison. It just, you got to see it to understand what I'm talking about. That shit is so funny, though. I've seen it. I was cracking up. I go, look, because he looks funny with his little mustache. Hey, and he's dancing and shit. It's
what's the name? Do you know the name of the video?
Ah, man, I'm going to get it. He gave me the name because I was trying to have Letty check it out. But I think it's on a private. Do they have like a private TikTok and an open TikTok? I don't know how it works.
Yeah.
How does it work?
Yeah, I don't know how it works either, man. I'm not big on TikTok.
I'm gonna have him send it. I'm gonna have him send it to you. You're gonna fucking trip, fool. That shit is so funny. And I go, hey, how did your brother do that? I think it was a cousin or brother. He goes, hey, that fool just fucking. He told me do that again, and I did it, but I didn't know why he wanted me to do it again. So when I hung up. Like 2 hours later, he sent me that video. Hey, it's funny because he got the video right away. So there's times when you send pictures or video that we get them within an hour or two, depending who's working. Because that's the way it's supposed to be, man. They kill the whole experience, the whole trip when they make us wait like a week sometimes. But yeah, hey, that's gonna be something, man. Doing the facelift thing on that. Oh hell no! I can't believe that shit. You really want me to do that, though?
No, hell yeah. No, I'm telling you, man. You gotta do it. You gotta do it. It's Mando.
Hey, I thought you were playing, fool. Okay, yeah.
No, I'm not playing, but what do you think? I just committed you right now. What do you think I told Marlene?
I'm gonna see if I can give me some courage drink or something. Find me like a little zipper fucking white lining or something, you know? Or I'm gonna see if I can have Gary.
Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada.
Hey, Gary hooked me up today. He bought me like 6 fucking bars of fucking taffy. Hey, that fool gets off, man. That fool makes some bomb-ass candy, dog. Bomb. Like, he hooked it up. I was eating, my fucking teeth that I have are fucking, like, sensitive right now from eating candy. I was eating candy all day. But, yeah, man, I guess we'll do it. We'll practice it. I guess I'm going to have to find some fucking Scotch tape or that other clear tape. And, yeah. Oh, man, that's something,
That's right.
James.
That's right.
Hey, what else you be thinking? Hey, but that's a good idea. The way you're talking about doing it and then bringing it on live on a video call. I mean, fuck, that's legit. You know, it's doable.
No, yeah, I'm telling you, yeah, that's mandatory. Hey, and Biddy K just put right now. She was like, hey, you know how you were talking about her that you didn't imagine that like that she looks like, you know, she was from over here instead of across the pond, and she said, and she puts why? Because I'm not wearing a potato sack dress.
I didn't know. Really? I didn't know. I don't mean it. No, you know what? I always picture. You know, she looks like, okay. So here I go again. You know, English language, white people.
Yeah.
So I picture more like a darker skinned person. You know, every time I look.
UK.
Don't you? I do. Like every time I see, because I watch a bunch of European soccer and or sports. And every time it's like a European sports person, they're usually darker skinned. So like I was thinking there was like more darker skinned people. But I meant by that it's her skin.
I think you're imagining like I want to say like maybe because I know some Italians they're like olive skinned or you know, some of the surrounding places from there. But in the UK for me, you know, what I imagine is you know. White with blue eyes and you know blonde hair, you know, the typical. That's what I think about.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Well, I've always seen it more on the opposite, like more darker people. You know, and it blew my mind when I saw like, wow, it looks like no, but she's pretty. Like I seen her, and she's like, it looked like fucking like I thought she looked like a straight white person, white. I'm gonna say white girl. I want to say respectfully, like a white girl, you know.
Yeah.
And, but I mean it in a good way. But I was expecting a darker skinned person, but. Hey, I'm not saying, don't take it wrong, please, Biddy K. That's why I get, this is the times when I get nervous when I got to compliment somebody, because at the same time, I don't want to sound like I'm, how can I say, like I'm trying to get at her or something, but I'm respectfully saying, like, she's a beautiful person, you know?
Yeah.
And her character, and the way she talks, from that, I'm going back to that message that she sent us, like, man, she really did make me feel good about myself, about the way I guess even though I play around, I always remember what she said, that even though you do play around, when I come back down into my serious self, that I know how to reflect. So that made me feel all right. Like, all right, I guess I am coming out, because I always worried about how I come out, how I sound. So she kind of like validated the fact that, okay, I guess I'm doing good. So I keep doing it, because there's times when I want to give up, like, keep going, but no, I guess I got to finish it. But yeah, shout out to Biddy K, and hopefully when ICEMAN wakes up and he plays it back, because I'm pretty sure he plays them back on the playlist, I give a shout out to ICEMAN, man. That fool's been, he's been like my little...
Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada.
That fool's been cool, man. Like, every time I'm having a bad day, I text him and I tell him what I'm going through, and he gives me his little cool feedback. And so, yeah. And shout out to fucking Fishman Slayer. You know what's up with him? Has he been on the other times when you've been on with somebody else?
He's been showing up late, or he hasn't been showing up, but because I've been doing like the streams like when he's at work, so I know it's a little bit harder for people to jump on, you know, like in the daytime, you know, like between like, you know, the prime hours of work hours, you know, like between 8 and like 4. So they normally catch it later on. They'll drop a comment in the what do you call it, on the video. So
you got like a little spot where they could send you a request, and they could leave you little messages on your thing.
So on the videos, like each video, they could actually drop a message on there. You know, because so right now, like the chat is separate from the messages in the video. So So once the stream ends, they're able to put comments on the video itself. So I now get a notification when they drop a comment.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, who else has seen that video that you did, that one you sent me like a month ago that I barely got? I don't know why it took so long. But man, I love the way you put that together, because it goes like from the young me, and then it goes from like when I was like 12 to like 15 to like 16 or 18, and then bam. And
you know what?
It turns around and turns it. Yeah.
Nobody, because I just made it, and I shot it to you. I never uploaded those pictures. But next time we jump on, I'm gonna play it in the background so they could see what you look like when you're.
I want to see. Yeah.
Oh, you know what? As a matter of fact, I forgot to put your picture. I forgot to turn on your picture here, because you know, normally I have.
Yeah. I like. How do you do that, man? Like, hey, you know what? And I appreciate that, because those are videos that I want copies of. Because look, my brothers, they you know, like I said, I know they don't mean to be, to me they're assholes, but they don't mean to. They're not, you know, spitefully saying, fuck them. They just have a life. And I'm out of sight, out of mind. But I got a prima in Guadalajara that she loves me dearly. Like, her kids write me letters, you know, they're like her nieces, but they're like, I look at them like my little brothers and sisters, and they love me dearly. So every time I get a video or a picture, I always tell them, send a copy to her, you know, and she loves to have all that about me, because I'm the only one that's missing in the whole family. Like, everybody went back to visit. So I appreciate, like, anytime you do them, whenever you hook them up, like, try to see if you can make it a habit, just to, every time you send me one, send them one, so they have it.
I got you.
Yeah. Nah, you get off, man. I don't know how you do it, but, man, that is something, because... Man, I was showing the homies in here, and they're like, wow, that shit looks crazy. That looks sick. Who did that? And I tell them, Chile Limon. And like, who's Chile Limon? I go, oh, that's handle for somebody. They're like, oh, all right. I don't tell them, but it's in the podcast. I just sound chile limon. So
Hey,
you're known as chile limon right here.
hey, you know what? Hey, you just reminded me. You just reminded me. Hey, is it true that there's a chili lime shortage? Chili lime shortage?
Homie, they never brought it back, dog. Hey, you know what they sell in the store now? They sell these little lemons. It's like a little juice.
Yeah.
I didn't know they had it. And my luck, I put one on my list. I went to the store. My carnala sent me finally, I don't like to ask them. I love it when they do it on their own. But she sent me $70, and I bought none but chips and beans and fucking and soup. But they didn't have chili lime. But they got a little lemon, like a little juice of lemon. But I didn't get it. I'm like, remember I was telling you about my luck?
Yeah.
I was looking forward to that little lemon. I've been dying to drink taste lemon juice. I ain't had lemon juice since I've been down. Not at all. I had that lemon pepper, but never had lemon juice. Oh, hell yeah, I'm a tongue.
Le queda un restante de 60 segundos.
But yeah, man, hey, James, man, man, good to fucking do this again, Cause hey, low key, I was starting to think man, can I finish this? Cause this time I get lost. I didn't even know how to move on from earlier when I was telling the story and I was looking at the package room okay, where do I go from here? Where do I go? And I remembered. So next time around, I'm gonna talk about my brother-in-law that was my best friend, like a father to me when he passed. Man, it was ugly, dog. He died just out of nowhere. He never drank, never did drugs, never nothing. He was a good man, and he was the one he was the backbone. He was bringing my mom to visit every weekend, every other week. He was sending me packages every single quarter. I never had to ask for nothing, and boom, he died. But yeah, this thing's gonna hang up on us, man. I send mine to everybody. Shout out to everybody. To you, James. You have a good night, and holler at me whenever.
All right. So his time is up, and my time is up too, because I gotta go to sleep, because I gotta wake up early again and do it all over again, rinse and repeat. But I'll check. Maybe I'll do another one tomorrow night. I'll check if Javier is available tomorrow night when I get home from work, and then I'll definitely be back in the daytime on Sunday. But I'm gonna be working. I think I'm gonna be going back to work on Tuesday and I want to say Monday and Tuesday, and then I think I'm gonna be off the rest of the week. Hopefully, I'm hoping. But anyhow, hey, for those of you guys that tuned in, Marlene and Biddy K, and I know there's a few lurkers back there. Really appreciate it. And hopefully you guys are either enjoying the journey that he's taken us down, or enjoying the content, or you find some type of value that's being offered here. I really appreciate it. And with that being said, life's like a candle. Once you blow it, it's lights out. And with that, I'm out.